Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today it's yoga for runners. A really good session that I enjoy doing a few times a week. Not that long, just going really deep into the hips. A little bit of back as well, lower back, middle kind of back area. This is kind of my own yoga for runners session that I've developed over the years. I spend a lot of time on the computer, so I like to open up that back a little bit. This is perfect before you go for a run, after hard workouts, kind of combining all that in together with your running will really make a big difference in your recovery and in your performance. Struggling to speak a little bit, but let's get started. All right, right leg behind your left, hips are forward, facing forward. So make sure your hips are facing forward. Interweave your fingers except the index finger. And we're literally going to twist to the right hand side. So just a nice deep twist to the right hand side, going as far as you can go. Really trying to find a new spot with your eyes behind you. Your body will go where your eyes go. Reaching up, breathing through the tension. This is a recovery session. A lot of you are doing a lot of running. You got to look after your body. Come back to the middle. Stay in this position. We're going to fold. So I'm going to aim and folding with my chest facing the sky. So I'm not falling in. I'm staying nice and upright. Reaching forward, opening all the way through the side of my body. Before we're going to come back into the middle, take a deep breath, release that foot. We're going to go other side, so left foot behind right this time. Again, find that balance, make sure the hips are straight, still interweaving the fingers except the index finger. And again, we're going to twist this time to the left hand side. So really nice deep twist, opening up that lower back. If you sit down all day in front of a computer, this is a perfect starting point for this session. Really try and find a new spot behind you. With every time you do this, you want to go deeper and deeper in. Breathing through that tension, staying upright. Come back to the middle. Take a deep breath, and now we're going to fold to the left hand side. So again, I'm not falling in. I'm staying nice and upright, chest facing the sky. Breathing through that tension, opening up through the side of that hip. Feels really, really good. Breathing through that tension. Come back to the middle. Release your hands, release your feet. And we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So nice and easy. Hands on the ground. Both feet up, about shoulder length apart. What we're going to do here is we're going to push our head down and push our butt up. Hold this for a few seconds here. I'm going to slowly walk the feet a little bit. Just getting a bit of blood flow through the calves. Warming those Achilles up, feet. Before we're going to go up as far as you can onto the toes and come back as far as you can onto the heels. Come back as far as you can onto your toes and back as far as you can on your heels. I did a speed session this morning, so the calves are a bit tight, so this is perfect. Usually a bit more flexible than this, but a really, really good way of opening the calves up, the feet, the Achilles, up again. And slowly down. If your heels don't touch the ground, that's fine. Mine don't touch the ground today as well. Last one. Up as far as you can, and then slowly down as far as you can. You should feel like you have a bit more room with each one before taking a big step forward with your left foot. So left, big step forward with your left. You're going to have both hands on the inside of your foot. I'm going to go front on so you can see this. So both hands on the inside. We're going to bend the knees, just bend the elbows, sorry, just a little bit, and come back up. Bend the elbows just a little bit, come back up. And now we're going to bring that knee out to the side while tensing that big toe to make sure that we protect the knee. Really opening up through the hip joint, breathing through that tension. Bring that foot in. Just going to bring that elbow, left elbow onto the ground, or as close as you can to the ground, and straight up. Down to the ground, and straight up. Down to the ground, straight up, looking up. Last one. Down to the ground, straight up. We're going to hold this for a second before getting a deeper twist. So I'm going to take my left hand and go across around to grab that right hip. And I'm going to look back. Really opening up here. Going deep into the hips. And come back up. I'm going to step back again into downward facing dog. So I'll come sideways again so you can see this. And again, we're going to go up onto our toes and release, going a bit deeper in. Up onto the toes. Release. Push that head towards the ground, butt towards the sky. Up onto your toes and releasing down. If you had Achilles injuries, any problems around the feet, tight arches, this is perfect mobility. Getting that blood flow into the ankles, into the Achilles, pumping blood around the calves. Alright, big step forward this time. This time with our right foot. Again, both hands on the inside. I'll come forward so you can see this a bit better. So you should be in this position right here. Big lunging step forward. Right foot forward. Now we're just going to bend the elbows, come back up. Bend the elbows just a little bit, just to go deeper into the hip. Come back up. And now we're going to bring that knee out a little bit, tensing that big toe here to protect the knee. Just going to hold this for a second. You can go deeper into the groin as well here. Back knee is off the ground, so make sure you stay strong with that back leg, don't let it drop. Bring that foot onto the ground. I'm going to bring that right elbow close to the ground and straight up. A bit tighter for me on the right hand side. Just really looking to breathe through that tension. Don't have to go touching the ground with the elbow, as far as you can down. Down, coming up. Last one. Down, up. Hold this. And again, I'm going to bring that right hand all the way around onto that hip. Hold on to something here. And just look back for a second here. Going really deep into the hips. Breathing through that tension. A lot of tightness in the hips for us runners, trail runners, cyclists. So this is a perfect one to open it all up. Bring that hand all the way around. I'm going to step backwards into downward facing dog. Again, I'll go sideways so you can see this. Downward facing dog. And again, up and down. So this is a downward facing dog with mobility in it. Very, very specific for runners. Getting that mobility up. I'm going to bring those knees down. I'm going to sit back onto my heels, opening up the feet. Taking a deep breath in. Before I'm going to bring that right knee up. I'm going to open up that hip flexor a little bit. But from here, you really want to make sure that that hip is straight. So I'll go front on so you can see. So as you step forward, And see how those hips have dropped. On the juice, bring that forward, tuck them under, both hands forward and up. So going very deep into that hip flexor. Taking a deep breath in. Breathing through that tension, you should feel it in that muscle that's connected from the side of your core all the way into the quad, your hip flexor. Again, making sure that your hips are nice and even and they're under, so that pelvis is tucked in. Both hands down onto the ground. Sit back, both feet are tucked in, so my toes are tucked in. I'm going to sit back and then step with the right foot this time. So again, you see my hips are facing that way. I'm going to bring them forward and then I'm going to tuck them in a little bit so I can feel it more in my hip flexor. Bring your hands forward and straight up. So if you're not feeling it in the hip flexor, that means that you're probably in here. So your hips are doing all of that. We want to open that to face forward and tucked in. So your pelvis is tucked under. Breathing through that tension. Hold it for another 5 seconds here. Bring both hands down. I'm going to twist. You stay in the same position. I'm going to twist so you can see. I'm going to sit back onto my toes again. So opening up through the feet. So coming back, hands on the ground. Untuck your toes and sit back on your heels. And bring your hands into prayer. Up above your head and just lean back a little bit. Opening up through the shins. If this is too hard, you can always have your hands straight back, just going back a bit deeper in. Opening up the feet, the shins, the knees. Come back to the middle. I'm just going to sit. And I'm going to get into this position right here, where my right foot is on the inside of my left thigh. Trying to get this as low as you can to the ground. And usually you would see this stretch quite often where people just grab onto the front of their foot. But for this one, I want you to grab the side of your foot. So not here, but rather the side of your foot with your left hand. So left foot, left hand. And the other side, your right hand's going to open up. So I got my thumb facing straight up. I'm going to open up, look back, look through it. This is one of my favorite stretches. And bring that hand straight up. Breathing through that tension. Looking up, opening up through my neck as well here. And the last one is we're going to bring the inside of your elbow in. You're going to grab with your index finger your Achilles and you're going to open up through the side just a little bit deeper. So chest towards the sky. Really breathing through that tension. All that tightness of all the hard training sessions, all the hard runs. This is when you give back to your body and you really look after it. Release a lot of tension. Slowly come out of it. And we're going to go to the other side. This time, right leg straight up. Left knee is bent. My foot is on the inside of my thigh. And again, I'm going to grab on the inside of my foot. So I'm not on the top. I'm on the inside. Open up that thumb of the left foot, the left hand, sorry. And look back. Really opening all the way through that back and hamstring, calf. And this is a super important pose for runners. So many benefits in one. Take a deep breath. We're going to go straight up. Breathing through that tension. Feel all that tightness in my back from sitting in front of a computer. This is the perfect way to open this up before going out for a run. Last one, we're going to bring the elbow on the inside of the knee. With one finger, your index finger, you're going to grab your Achilles and you're going to fall back. Deep into it. Again, not falling in here, trying to stay upright so you can really feel it in the side. Going pretty deep in here. Last 3 seconds here. Breathing through the tension. Feel how your body opens up. Come out of it nice and easy. You're going to go with last one, crossing your legs. Be sitting in a cross-legged position. And we're literally going to go to the right hand side. Get down, forehead onto the knee. If this is too easy, you can reach forward a little bit. Come back to the middle. Reach as far as you can. If this is too hard, you can keep your hands down here. And feel it a little bit more. Just reach forward as much as you can. And go to the left hand side, forehead onto your knee. And if this is too easy, reach out as far as you can. Really feeling that stretch on the other glute, all the way around the hips. Come back nice and easy. We're going to change the position of your feet. So other way around. Alright, so whatever way you had it in the first one, swap that around and we're going to go again. Alright, right hand side first. Forehead onto the knee. Reaching out as far as you can. It should feel different because you're sitting in a different position than the first one that we just did. Take a deep breath, come back to the middle. Reach as far as you can. You should have a little bit more room now that the body is warm. Relax with your neck. Take a deep breath. We're going to go to the left hand side. Again, forehead onto the knee. Reaching out as far as you can. Really breathing through that tension. And come back slowly, slowly up. Alright, well done. So basic yoga for runners here. A perfect session as a recovery session or before you run, especially before those hard workouts. We did a lot of foot opening, so a lot of people have a lot of injuries with the ankles, foot, Achilles, with the arches. So this is a perfect one to open them up before you go out running or as a recovery after your run. If you like that video, please smash that like button. If you have any ideas for other videos or workouts that you want to see, comment below and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.